Today's call is entitled The New Normal. It is New Normal November, all right? And I hope you have your notebooks and pens. As I said, I don't have a lot of words for this call, which is surprisingly, because I am normally full of words. But this is the new normal. And the only question I'm going to ask you today is, what does your new normal look like? What does your new normal look like? I was looking and analyzing over my journal. I was looking and analyzing over my diary over the last 3 years of being in this business. And I was analyzing when I had the most momentum and when I had the most growth. And one of the most crazy things came to me, guys. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, but one of the most crazy things, and this is why it's so important to journal. Now, before I tell you that, I told every single person to go and get a new book. Did everyone get a new book? Has everyone put a 7 in the chat if you did? Put a 9 in the chat if you need to go and get one, all right? Because this is going to be the new normal, guys, okay? Now, the new normal is we're going to start journaling every single day, okay? Now, regardless of whether, you feel like you have anything to write in that journal, I promise you that when you look back, there's going to be a blueprint for your success. And so I tell you this, I look back through my journals, and one of the things I saw, was what led up to some of the successes that I've had over my life, right? I'm going to give you some examples. So in 2008, when you guys have all heard, she had £1 million property portfolio, by the age she was 21, blah, 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 blah. My house got robbed, and I was forced psychologically to move out that house because of a danger that I felt to my life. Now, because of that experience, it then pushed me to look for somewhere else to live, which then ultimately pushed me to gain information from people that were in the property world, which ultimately pushed me to purchase multiple properties. I want you to deep this. Prior to that, I was working in a retail store, and I had a boss. I was the only woman that worked in this man's store, and I had a boss that wanted me as the only woman to wear short skirts and low-cut tops, so that I could be like the trophy girl for the store, so the guys would come in and purchase more stuff. And one day, enough was enough. And that pushed me to call one of my friends who I know worked in a bank to find out what I needed to do to get a new job and to get a job in a bank. And on the back of that, you guys know the history, 15 years banking experience, understood certain things in the financial world, right? I now looked at some of the things that happened in my life after that. And then I started to look in the business success. When was I able to start growing? Well, here's the thing. My mentor, I came in, within a short period of time, the person that brought me in left. And I was left on my own. And that's where Wealthier World was created. That's where the journey of Wealthier World created. If he hadn't have left, there would be no Wealthier World. Let's fast track again. When did the next success happen? Bed rest, sitting on bed rest, pregnant, hip pops out. And so I'm forced to think of creative ways of how I'm able to build this business without having legs. And so I enrolled some people in the hospital whilst I'm on bed rest because I had no other people to speak to. Shout out to all of the midwives that are still in the team. I love you, right? I want you to deep this. Most of our most creative times are when we are under pressure. And what happens is under pressure, we are then creating a new normal. I can never unlearn the property game now. That's my new normal. The knowledge is there. I can never unlearn it, right? I can never unlearn how to create an income stream from bed, from Zoom, because I've learned it now. I can't unlearn the things that I've learned. I can never, here's the thing, here's another one. Baby father leaves me pregnant on the floor, right, to handle the pregnancy by myself. And on the back of that, I gained the most strength that anyone could ever have. The strength that I have, the focus that I have, the determination that I have. I couldn't have learned that if that situation hadn't have happened to me. Does anybody understand what I'm saying? That your pain, if used correctly, will turn into fuel for your future. Now we have a choice whether the pain is literally there in vain. Oh yeah, your girl's got rhymes today, right? Is the pain in vain? Or are you going to use the pain as fuel for your future? Because a lot of the time, you know, we get hurt and we miss the message within the pain. We miss the message within the hurt. What can we learn from it? What can we grow? So I go back to my original question is, what does your new normal look like? Some of you need to reinvent yourself. Some of you got to be more creative. Some of you now need to come out of the box, the comfort zone, the shy place. But the new normal that is here now is, you know, the cryptocurrency world, is the metaverse, is, you know, machines doing things and robots. How many of you have seen them robot pictures and those robot things going around feeding people? You got robots doing the work. New York, you've got the Uber cars that drive themselves. You've got the fridges now that order the food when they're running out. Guys, I didn't even know that was a feature. I have to plug into my fridge. I scan the food that's on my fridge, tell the fridge what I've got. And when the milk is running low, it debits my account and orders it straight away and comes to my house. This is the new normal now. The new normal is technology is taking over the world. The new normal is that you can recreate yourself. The new normal is things are evolving and moving every time. So we must stay educated. We mustn't block our blessings. We mustn't avoid information when it's put to us so that we are able to make an informed decision about the decisions that we make going forward. Does that make sense? And so the question I have for you is, what does your new normal look like? What does your new normal look like? Because my new normal has some new rules. New rules. There's got to be new rules in your new normal. What's the new rules going to be, guys? One of the rules for me is there's no excuses. This is a no excuses type of new normal. I'm not going to make excuses to myself no more why I can't do things. I'm not going to make excuses to myself why I keep eating macaroni and cheese when I'm talking about getting my six-pack back, right? There's no excuse, Nikki. You know what you're talking about. You've been preaching this thing, so now you got to walk the walk. There's no excuses when I say I'm going to jump on a call or I'm going to put myself in an environment or I'm going to put myself forward for something. There's no excuses. That's my new normal. If you want to be in a place where you're growing, you got to have a no excuses type of mentality. I'm not going to make an excuse. I'm not going to sit there watching Netflix when I know that I got work to do, when I know that I got situations to happen. I'm not going to sit there making excuses for myself. It's a 10x season, guys. So if you know that you got to incorporate the no excuses in your new normal, type in no excuses. These are new rules, right? New rules November. No excuses November. All right. Next one. No quitting. I ain't got time to quit. This is a no quitting November. No quitting. I'm not quitting on myself. I'm not quitting on my children. I'm not quitting on my vision. I'm not quitting on my purpose. This is a no quitting November. The only way you fail is if you quit. The only way you fail is if you quit. And when you see, when we have, you know, it always sounds interesting to me when I hear individuals say things like, oh, I'm going to give it a go and see how it goes. You've already tricked your mind. You've already told your mind that you're going to quit. You're going to give it a go. You don't give it a go. You go all in. You go all in for what it is that you say that you want, right? This is a no quitting. If you know you want to put that on your list too, no quitting November. This is no time for the quitting. We don't even deal with quitters. What is it? Quitters never win and winners never quit. Something like that. All right. No negative November. Now, come on, guys. I want no negative energy. Oh, that stuff is heavy. That stuff weighs me down, right? That stuff weighs me down. You know, two things that weigh me down. Long text messages. You know, the ones that you got to tap down and go down. I don't even read them ones. They weigh me down. They're so heavy. They come heavy, 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 heavy. I just delete them straight. I'm going to call you because I ain't got time to read all that. You can tell me that in 5 seconds. We are not going to sit here reading out these things. I'm bored already, right? No negative energy, negative text messages, negative voice notes, negative interactions, negative bank accounts, negative mindset, negative voices, negative posture, negative food. Listen, I don't want nothing negative around me and nothing negative. No, I'm allergic to that. Somebody help me out. So I feel like I'm about to go into spirit. I need to call the Holy Spirit down when we start talking about that. So I got to cover myself. No negative energy November. Positive vibes only. Okay? No negative vibes. And we got the no negative. What's the emoji that we use when we see that negative energy? Right, we need to have a swerve emoji. What's it? The Superman. There we go. So when I see negative, it's a Superman emoji, and I'm gone. I'm flying away. No negative energy. No negative energy. And energy comes in different forms. You hear that thing that says where energy goes, money flows, right? I don't want no negative energy because negative energy affects my money, and I don't like nothing that affects my money. So we ain't got time for no negative energy, guys. If you are putting that on your list, go ahead and type no negative energy. No negative energy. Here's another one. No nonsense. No nonsense. Anything that is nonsensical, I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to be a part of it. No nonsense. Oh, you know what? She said, he said, she said, and she could. What? And how much money has all this made us? Like, who's been saved by this? Where is the, where's the alignment? I don't want to hear he said, she said, they said, and her said. All right, I don't want no nonsense. No nonsense. You know when someone rings you and they're attempting to educate you into I'll tell you a quick story, guys. And it was nonsense. It was a nonsensical conversation. Hey, Nikki, have you seen Bitcoin? Yes, I have. I guess you've just seen Bitcoin, right? So, right, there's a way that we can actually make money from it. Really? Okay. So have you heard of MetaTrader 4? Yes. It's the same thing I was attempting to tell you about 3 years ago. Like, you're going to have, this is the season where you're going to have people attempting to educate you on something. And you're going to have to say, listen, bruh, like, for real? Like, you can't educate me on something that I got receipts for. I've been here 4 years studying this game. Don't come to me with no nonsense. You tell me about your boy said to go and buy Dogecoin. Doge who? Dogecoin. Your friend in the chicken shop told you to buy Dogecoin. And where does your friend in the chicken shop live right now? Where does he work? Oh, he works. Okay. So you want to come educate me. And this is where we got to be in a position to not be rude, but just to be like, this is nonsense. This is absolute nonsense. This is not worth my time. Like, I've been attempting to educate you on something for 4 years. And now you're going to come to me and you are attempting to sell me something that your homeboy told you in the chicken shop. No sense. No sense. I've got no time for nonsense. And let me tell you this. Some of you are accepting nonsense out of obligation because they've been your friends for a long time. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't accept nonsense. Because I tell you this, it's time wasted. How many of you have seen people pass away? There is no time to waste sitting around talking nonsense. Some of you know you talk nonsense for fun. You be having conversations. You're like, what is this conversation about? I'm sitting here for, listen, I've given myself a 2-minute window, 2 minutes. If we're having a conversation and it is not edifying, it's not making us money, it's not freeing my soul, my heart, my mind, 2 minutes and I am off that phone. I do not have time for nonsense. I don't have time. My phone is blowing up with people that want to do business, that people want to pray over me, that people want to give me encouragement. I don't have time for nonsense. This is no nonsense November, ladies and gents. How many of you know that you need to have a no nonsense type of vibe right now? Because too many of us have got the nonsense going on. Too many times we're allowing people to just dump the trash on us. You know the ones where they call you and you're just there like, keep dumping, keep dumping, keep dumping. No solution orientation. It's just dump. And you know what they said? And you know what he said? And you know what happened? And you know what happened then? And then this happened. And then that happened. And you know what happened? And by the time you come off the phone, you feel heavy. You feel tired. You feel exhausted. You don't even want to get up and run your business because now you're heavy. And you see, some people don't want solution. They just want to dump. Now, when you become protective over what you allow to be dumped onto you, guess what happens? They no longer keep coming. You know, I have people that say, oh, no, I didn't come tell you that because I just wanted to moan and I knew you were going to go into solution mode. I'm already thinking of solution. I have a cousin and my cousin will say to me, I'm not even going to come to you with this because I don't want you to tell me an answer. I just want to moan. And I know you don't want that type of energy. I was like, thank you. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Because dumping information isn't going to change your life. And if I'm going to entertain someone to stay in the same position that I know they're unhappy about, I don't feel good about that. Because all you're doing is putting that energy onto me. You have to invest in your own healing. Everyone has to invest in their own healing. Now, I'm not insensitive, but what I am saying is if someone comes with a genuine problem and we're going to work it out and we're going to talk it out, I'm going to help you, right? We're going to help. We're going to get to the solution. But I can't be sitting there every day, every week, and you just dumping on me and we ain't going nowhere with this. Something got to give. This is a no nonsense type of, this season, no nonsense November. This season, we ain't got time for the nonsense. We ain't got time for it. Because if you crash, you can't go back and help no one. And we got to stay focused. We got to stay focused. So we need to make a list, guys, of what are the things you're going to say no to? What are the things that you now need to say no to so that you can say yes to others? Because when you say no to something, you are saying yes to something else. And that's what this season is about. Wow. Christine said, I had a friend like that. She took up so much of my valuable time. I ended up blocking them. They got the message that I had enough. And you know, sometimes you don't even have to block them. They'll see, they'll get it because you're just not tolerating it no more. And you know, it's interesting. It's interesting that sometimes people think that they blocked you when you actually blocked them. No, I blocked you in the spirit. And God helped you to take yourself away from me, okay? Right? Sometimes people think that they blocked you when you actually blocked them. They don't even realize. They don't even realize. And we just say, thank you, Lord. I no longer get caught up into energy of people that remove themselves because I know that God works and I pray. And you can never mess around with the anointed. That's biblical. And when you know that you're an anointed person, you know you live your life according to the word. And you know that you only give out good energy. You know that you love. You know that you do your best to help others. That you have no fret when people begin to move from your life. You know, I used to say that, well, but God, I help others. I give to the poor. I'm the person, I see someone begging, I'll give them money. I help out. I'm on the phone till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes, helping people. Why is it that you would let these people hurt me and go away from me? And God's like, are you silly? I'm protecting you. I'm taking them away from you because they don't need access to you but you have not heard some of the conversations that they're having behind your back. You don't know what's going on behind your back. So I've taken them away from you and you're there praying for something I took away from you that's going to protect you. You're praying for something to hurt you. And so we got to understand that when God removes, let him. He is a God of free will. And so if you keep praying for something, he will give it to you. Be careful what you pray for, ladies and gents. Be careful what you pray for, because you might go ahead and get it. And there's things that he sees that you don't see. There's things that he hears that you don't hear. Oh, let God move. Let God remove and move. Let God move and remove. One of my prayers, one of my affirmations is this: Lord, anything that is not for me, anyone that is not for me, remove them. Remove them. Remove them. I trust you, Lord. I trust you. And when you say no weapon formed against you shall prosper, and I see certain people fleeing, I know that God is in the midst. You can never mess with the Lord's anointed. Never. And sometimes you don't even realize it, but you're unequally yoked with that friend. I don't know where I'm going with this. But that unequally yoked thing don't just fall on a relationship. That falls on friendships too, sometimes family ships. Pray. When you pray for something, don't be surprised when it happens. I was praying for marriage, not realizing that the person I was praying for wasn't the one that was to marry me. So when I was praying for marriage and my baby father walks out and leaves me pregnant, I'm like, what's going on, God? He's like, don't be silly. Your husband's coming. I had to remove this one so we can get the real deal in. Hello. And so you cannot be concerned. Okay, this is biblical. Don't be concerned about certain things. Yes, big up my husband, Anton. Yes. You can't be concerned about certain things because you don't know the end. You don't know. He's already formed you before you, he already knew you before you were formed, which means he knows the plan over your life. And so you got to make sure that you trust him completely and keep doing the right thing. You know, sometimes when you've been hurt, you change who you are and you start doing the wrong thing. Don't do that. Oh, I'm not giving away. You know, has anyone ever been hurt before? You've been cheated on or something. I ain't never going to do that again. I'm never going to love anyone again. I'm never going to help anyone again because they hurt me. No. You can't do that. You got to stay clean-hearted to yourself. Don't start putting mad restrictions on your new relationships because that's generational curses creating right there. Because you had one person hurt you, now you're going to treat everybody else with the same brush. You can't do that. Don't do it. Still remain the person that you are. We love people on the way in and we love them on the way out. God bless you. I hope everything works out for you. But don't start changing who you are. Don't start doing what they call it, tit for tat. Don't start doing all that. Be the person that you are. Run with integrity. Have a clean heart and pure hands. So when when you go to your bed at night, you know that you've done the best that you can do. But we must not allow other people's opinions, other people's voices, other people's decisions to change the way that we think about ourselves, to change the way that we move around for ourselves. Don't do it. Know your goals. This is why there's a lot of people with identity crisis. You don't know who you are, so you range your decision makings on what other people say about you. Your whole life is based on what other people say because you don't know who you are. But when you know who you are, you don't care what they say on the left. You don't listen. I don't even want to know what they say about me. I don't even want to know. You know when people say, oh, I was actually telling Tosin, I think I was telling Tosin, no, I was telling one of my girls yesterday. And I was saying, when people say, oh, such and such says, they don't deal with Nikki. I'm like, no. Such and such can't deal with Nikki. They don't have access to me like that, right? So when people are talking, you let them talk. Because when people don't have access, they will talk. No, such and such can't deal with me. No, they don't deal with me. They can't deal with me. They don't have access like that. And I'm not here to listen to nothing because I have to go down there to hear, and I don't want to hear, so I don't go down there. I'm vibrating on a different level. Sometimes when people tell you stuff, you don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear the noise. Is this productive? But, when you're insecure, you want to hear everything. Like, what did they say? No. When you know who you are, when you're focused, when you know what's going on for yourself, you don't want to hear what they said. Who are they anyway? Who them? Them over there. Who them? Me, take out my good time to hear the opinions of who are them again? Who are they again? Gavin, come on. You know who you are, girl. And this is why it's important that we know who we are. This is why it's important that we stand on, the right ground. Don't be standing on shaky ground. We're integrity. When you go to your bed at night and you're clean heart, pure hands, that you've gone out there and you've done the best for the people that you are around, you don't have to worry. You don't justify yourself. You don't check in with nobody. Do you think I did a good job? Do you think it's about? No. Hey, yeah, move yourself, man. Who them over there? Who them? Someone type in the chat. Who them? Who's them? Everybody always says them and everyone and people. Who are the people? Right? Who are the people? We used to have this little trick. My mum used to do this trick on me, right? Let me tell you this. And I learned this. a long time. And it's a big people something, right? You got to know the big people, them things. So my mum used to do this to me to trick me to see if I'd have gone straight home from school or whether I diverted to people's house. So my mum used to say, yeah, I had some phone calls today. Some people rang me and said they saw you. Yeah. Oh, and then times that I really did divert. So I was like, oh my God, who saw me? And I used to bait up myself. I used to be like, oh, they saw, where did they saw? Oh, I just went round the thing to my phone. My mum was like, yeah, I used to get beaten for that, right? This time she was tricking me all the time. There was no them. There was no everybody. Who is everybody? How could everybody see me all the time? But it was a clever little trick my mum used to use. She's like, yeah, they saw you. A couple of, the people them. Yeah, I'm not even going to call their name, but the people them did see you. Didn't come home, did you? And she used to really look me in the eye and tell me that. And I used to confess like a fool under the pressure, right? I used to confess. And you see, that's the trick. That's what people do. They say the people, them, and they, and everybody to make you feel insecure. But if you got nothing to hide, you got nothing to hide. It's only when you got something to hide, you start confessing about things that ain't nothing happened to you, right? That's when it happened. Them little tricks, they're the Jamaican, Caribbean little tricks that our parents used to do back in the day. Yes, I've been learning it. We start doing it to my son now. I was like, yeah. Yeah, they did see you at school. Yeah, they did see you. What was you saying to the teachers? They'd be like, Mom, nothing, I promise, nothing. What did they see? Well, I said, all right, I'll let you off. My ones don't even work because my son's so honest. He will bait up himself first, right? And it comes from the generations, guys. So you can't be tricked by the game. Someone comes up to you and go, yeah, they did say to me, they who? And now you're feeling insecure. Everybody doesn't like you. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody like who? In fact, do you even know everybody? Right? So you got to make sure that you're securing yourself. So them, they, them, the people, them, whoever them is, they can't trick your mind. All right. Don't have an identity crisis out here. So you start being paranoid. Oh yeah, they were saying your sessions ain't good. They who? Who are they? Where are they? Where them live? Where them near? Where them come from? And they is usually half a person's opinion. Let me tell you that from now. All right, so stay focused on yourself. No nonsense. We ain't got time for the nonsense. When someone comes up and says, oh, I don't want to say, but, well, don't say. I ain't got time for the nonsense. Don't say. Or someone tells you half a story, such and, I don't want to tell you who, but this is what was said. Well, who said it? You're coming to me to tell me who said it then. What are you talking about? We were going with half a story. You coming to carry news, but you coming half the news. I don't want to hear the news. Like, what? So no nonsense, guys. We've got no time for nonsense. We've got cryptocurrency popping right now. That's the only thing that we should be talking about. If it don't make money, it don't make sense. If it ain't about progression, it don't make sense. If it's not about mindset, it's not about blitz schools, if it's not about building my business, it don't make no sense, and it's nonsense. Nonsensical conversations must be rebuked from my life. I do not want it. I'm not attracting it. I'm attracting positive conversations in my life. Anyone. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people think that if people don't support your business, you've got to cut them off. I don't agree with that. Somebody may not support your business, but you don't have to cut them off. You don't have to be so savage. You can still be cordial. You can still, have friendships. There's different level of friendships, right? Different level of friendships. Just because someone doesn't support your business doesn't mean you have to cut them off. As long as they're encouraging to you, as long as they're edifying to you, you can still have, a healthy relationship. All right. I've heard some savage people, if you don't follow my business, I'm cutting you off. I don't agree with that. But what I do say is if you're rolling with someone that's not in a business mindset and you're running a business, make sure that they're not tricking you into thinking like them, in a sense where working a 9 to 5 is the right way, because you got to make sure that your mind is not tricked and your mind is not changing from what it is that you've said, your confession, right? I have a few friends, in different industries, and they're not in, they're not in my business. They're not buying from me or anything like that, but we still kick it because they're positive people. I have a good friend in the real estate industry. She's a manager of an estate agent. I'm actually going to get her as one of the guests onto one of our Money Matters calls. And she's a very, very amazing woman. So we connect because we're both business minded. We are both future focused, positive people. We've never had a negative conversation ever. I've got one of my best friends. She's in the legal department, legal secretary. Okay. But we always have positive conversations. So I don't believe that you have to, I don't believe that you have to be in, the same business as everybody, but there has to be positive edification coming from those conversations. You don't want to be around someone that says, all you do is talk about your business. Hold up. You are? Pardon? Now that sounds like a little bit of hate in there. That sounds a little bit sensitive. I don't want to have to be around you and walk on eggshells. I can't celebrate my business if my business has done well. All right. You don't want to be around haters, but your people them don't have to be in your business. So no nonsense November, no excuses November. This is the new normal, and there are new rules, new rules to this, baby. New rules. And I want to set you guys a challenge to create the new rules for yourself. All right. New rules, because I know that this season is extraordinary. This season is crazy. What we're seeing right now is unbelievable. Now, here's what I want to give you. Crypto source, and then we are going to close out this call. I'm going to load that up, and I'm going to give you crypto source. So before I give you the crypto source, the last thing we're going to do is what we do each and every day here in the academy, which is mind work, heart work, phone work. And if you're new on the call, it's something that we do every single day. Is we check our mind work, we check our heart work, and we check our phone work. And mind work is very simple. And that is where we say our affirmations before we go to our bed. So the reason why we say affirmations is to make sure that we're shifting our paradigm into positive thinking, especially overnight, because whilst you've said your affirmations, those words are flowing in your head overnight to really shift the paradigms. One of the paradigms I had growing up, my mom used to tell me money doesn't grow on trees, and now we have to save. We had a savers mentality, have a piggy bank, put the money in. And we all know when you put money in, it doesn't grow. There's nothing, it's just there. Saving potentially means that you've got to save for a rainy day, which means that money will run out, which means there's lack. So we had a lack mentality growing up, right? We also were taught to have dilute drinks because if we, it lasted longer and we didn't want to run out of things. We were also taught to have Sunday, Monday dinner because, we wanted to make the food stretch till Monday. Okay, some paradigms that I had to shift in my mind was that when I saw somebody with money, I didn't associate them with doing anything illegal, because we were brought up that when someone does well, you're like, oh, I wonder what they had to do to get there. And you start justifying why they're there and you're not. So I had to shift some of those paradigms, the lack mentality that was, that I was brought into. Although my mom didn't know any better, that's what we were taught. We didn't have a lot of money. There's certain paradigms that I had to shift in order to elevate, where I wanted to get to. Also as well, money don't grow on trees. Well, money is just paper, and paper grows on trees, and money is energy. And money is everywhere, guys. In all different industries, money is available. And so one of my affirmations at nighttime is wealth is my birthright. And I have an abundance of wealth and multiple streams of income, comes into me. And as long as it is within the will of God, money is attracted to me at all times, and I will not lack. And I say these things over myself so that I don't turn down opportunities that could potentially, help me get to the next level, so that I'm not in a place where I'm closed off. I used to be closed off to networking because I don't like people. I used to say things like that. I'm an introvert. I don't like people knowing my business. And I didn't realize that word that was out of my mouth was actually keeping me broke. It was the lack mentality, because network is your net worth. And so you will meet someone who has the results or a word that can change your whole life. But because you have the mentality, I don't want to meet no one, I'm actually blocking the blessings of where it is that I want to get to. And so I had to shift that mindset, guys. I have to shift that mentality by saying in my affirmations that I will network with anyone that God aligns me with in order to help me grow. I will be open to opportunities and people that want to pour into me to enable me to do the purpose that God has over my life. Such powerful ways of looking back and seeing how, we used to think. How many of us, our parents used to tell us, make sure when you go to school, you're the best. All right. And so we were brought up to have a competitive spirit. All right. So now we're not competing with ourselves, we're competing with others. And so we were taught not to celebrate others, but to compete with others. So when we're in a group of, group of people that are doing well, we feel uncomfortable to encourage other people because we were not taught to help other people succeed and to encourage. We were taught to compete. And so these mindset shifts, I will be encouraging, I will edify others. I will be in a place where when I see people winning, I will say, well done to them. I will congratulate them. These are mindset shifts that I had to have because my paradigm was used to competing. Like, oh, how come they're winning? How come I'm not winning? These are all paradigms that need to be shifted. And so these affirmations that we read every night to ourselves are for us to shift the paradigm at nighttime so that we're open, so that we celebrate others, so that we can attract positive energy, so that we can attract the right network, the right people around us. So how many of you, put a number 1 in the chat, did your affirmations last night? I'm going to start by putting my number 1. If you did your affirmations last night, put your number 1 in the chat. These are important, right? So simple, easy to fall asleep before you do them, but it's so simple, but it's so empowering. If you haven't done so, rewrite your affirmations and recite them to yourself 10 times before you go to your bed. Very, very important to shift the paradigm. All right. And if you find that you're struggling with something in particular, confidence in your affirmations, I am confident, I am bold, I love myself, I'm helping nations and generations. Affirm yourself so you're counteracting any of the paradigms that you need to get rid of. The second thing that we do here, guys, is our heart work. It's so important to check your heart. So important to check the things that are on your heart. What are the goals of your heart right now? And so what we do every morning before we carry on our day is we write out our goals. What are the goals that you're going to achieve today? And what are the goals that you're going to achieve by the end of the year? And we write them out in our journal every single day, guys. I do this, right? Every single day. We write out our goals, we journal, right? So that we can see. If you don't track what it is that you're going, you're not going to get anywhere, guys. You got to track where it is that you're going. Check your heart. Check out the goals that you want to achieve every single day and write them down so you know where you're going. The Bible says a man without a plan shall perish, okay? If you don't have vision, that's not good. You got to have vision for your day. Vision for your year, vision for your life. Every single day you write out those goals. What are you going to achieve for that day? And you journal how you're feeling, what you're thinking, what you're achieving. So when you look back, you can see the blueprint to your success, or you can see the blueprint to what was missing. But if you can't journal it, guys, you're not going to be able to recover. You're not going to be able to see the plan. When you're successful, you can't look back and track. So go ahead, guys, put a number 2 in the chat if you did your goals this morning. If you've written out those goals this morning, go ahead and put a 2 in the chat box, right? And it's very important that you do that. Very, very important that you do that. And the third and final one, so we had mind work, heart work, and phone work. Third and final one is phone work, contacting 10 new people every single day and inviting them into an opportunity to work with you, collaborate with you, see your business. Okay. Now, why is this important? Because network is your net worth. All right. The people that make the most money in the world are networkers. The people that make the most money in the world know how to market their products, know how to market their services, know how to connect with people. All right. Do you think Mr. Metaverse, what's his name? Mark Zuckerberg knows about technology, or does he have a team of people that know more about technology than him? right? It's about who you connect with. It's about who you're around that's going to give you the clues, give you the answers. And so we want to make sure that we're connecting with 10 people every single day. Now, if you've done your 10 today, I want you to go ahead and put number 3 in that chat box. All right? Put a 3 in the chat box if you've done your 10. Now, here's what I want you to do, guys. I want you to rate yourself out of 3. So if you did 1, I want you to put 1 out of 3. If you did 2, I want you to do 2 out of 3. Here's mine. I've done 3 out of 3 today, guys. I'm being consistent. Successful people are consistent. Now, be honest with yourself, all right? You can't heal what you hide, all right? Be honest with yourself. And now this is where you say to yourself, what is going to be your new normal? What do you have to do to change that? What's going to be your new normal? Because it can't be the same old in this season. Something has to give. Something's got to change. So what is your new normal going to look like for you? Now, if you did 2 out of 3 right now, I want you to write in the chat box, which was the one that you missed out on? If you did 2 out of 3, which one did you miss out on? All right, let's see which one we missed out on. Very important, you hold yourself accountable. All right, hold yourself accountable to getting your perfect 3. All right, hold yourself accountable. All right, so I see phone work was missing there. Didn't write out the goals. All right, now a tip for writing out the goals, very simple, is do it before you even get out of your bed. I have my book next to my bed. All right, I make sure it's next to my bed. All right, before I go to my bed, it's next to my bed. I say my affirmations and then I write it in the morning. So before I even get my feet onto the floor, that's a tip. Phone work for me is getting the scheduled time. Right now we have 8 p.m. calls for phone work. Jump on there because now that's scheduled time that you can go ahead and get your phone work done. Or it could be responding to people that are responding to your WhatsApp stories. But you must build that muscle of getting 10 new people. I mean, it's really easy, guys. I do mine in less than an hour. It's very, very simple, especially if you have an ECX store. Share your store with a few people. Let them see and just say, hey, look, this is my store. What do you think? Right? What do you think? And when they respond, it's like, oh, would you like one? You know, I'm part of a community. Got a couple of days to get it set up. If you want one, I can be the plug and help you to introduce you to someone that can help you get yours open. Very, very simple, but now you're the plug and now you've helped someone to get themselves an additional income stream. All right. So with that being said, guys, I would love it if I can get a few testimonies. Okay. I know